It's not much of a secret that it's getting increasingly difficult to find a good show or movie nowadays. Hollywood has been showcasing their frightening apathy towards creativity and originality for some time now, and it doesn't look like it's gonna stop anytime soon. They've been going really hard into the whole quantity over quality strategy in a desperate attempt to keep audiences mindlessly engaged in their content. As a result, it's a pain in the ass to wade through all the garbage just to find a half-decent show. So amid the shitstorm of content coming out lately, I figured it would be a good idea to highlight my top 5 shows from 2025 so far. Don't worry, these aren't all serious shows either, I put a couple of comedies in there as well. Understand that I don't necessarily love all of these or think they're all masterpieces, but I do think they're at least worth checking out if you're looking for something to watch. With all that being said, let's get right into it. Number 1. Andor Season 2. Imagine, if you will, someone at Star Wars pitches the idea to write an espionage thriller about a side character from a spin-off movie where he already died. Sounds like the most forgettable shit ever, right? Well, this idea would turn out to be the best TV show Disney Star Wars has ever produced, and it's not even close. The show follows the journey of a pilot known as Cassian Andor, who is simply looking for his long-lost sister when he finds himself in the middle of an intergalactic revolution. The story delves into the cascade of events that led Cassian to becoming a key figure in the rebellion against the Empire. We also get a deeper look at the inner workings of the Imperial government, particularly through the lens of an eager Imperial employee named Cyril. Season 1 ended pretty strong and still left plenty of room for the story to continue. Now, with lots of shows, you'll notice the writers clearly didn't think past the first season, and so the second season typically feels like a watered-down version of Season 1. Not the case with Andor. This second season is an excellent continuation of the story rather than feeling like an unnecessary add-on. Catering to a more adult audience, Andor sets a very different tone than what we normally see in Star Wars. They somehow managed to scale down the stakes while making arguably the most intense Star Wars project to date. Not even the fact that we already know when the main character dies is enough to diminish the intensity of this show. The acting, the writing, the directing, the editing, the world building, everything is high quality in this show. The only minor complaint I have is that the first couple of episodes dragged a bit, but other than that, Andor is a really great show. Seriously, even if you're not a Star Wars fan, but you enjoy compelling characters, complex themes, detailed world building, and an original story with actual stakes, you need to check out Andor. This show is truly an anomaly among the Star Wars shows, and it deserves to be considered one of the best shows to come out in recent years. Number 2. Department Q. This isn't a show that immediately jumps out to you when scrolling through the ocean of content on Netflix, but this is a mystery thriller that far surpassed my expectations. The story follows the severely aloof and troubled detective Carl Mork as he struggles to return to work after a near-fatal shooting that also left his partner partially paralyzed. Say that 5 times fast. Opening a new division intended for solving cold cases, Carl's supervisor decides he would be the best man to run said division. In reality though, he's just a pain in the ass that she wants to keep away from the ongoing investigation regarding the attack on his partner and he. Our 2 main side characters, Akram and Rose, serve as Carl's unlikely partners in solving his first case. Out of the hundreds of cold cases to choose from, Carl and Akram decide to investigate the disappearance of a high-profile prosecutor who went missing 4 years ago. The trio have to learn to put their unique strengths together to unravel the mystery of how a successful prosecutor seemingly disappeared off the face of the earth at the height of her prime. I don't watch a lot of mystery thrillers, but Department Q really pulled me in with a great story that keeps its audience engaged until the very end. The first episode throws a lot at you and can feel a bit rushed, but the show really settles into a nice pace by the 3rd episode. The dialogue is exceptionally written, the comedy is quick and witty, and the characters are worth getting invested in. The mystery is also very tightly written to the point where even I couldn't spot any plot holes. You also never get the feeling like the mysteries were easily resolved with little to no evidence. They follow multiple false leads and take a circuitous path to their conclusion. The second big reason to watch Department Q is the compelling characters. Now, at first you're gonna fucking hate Carl cause honestly he's just a prick who's continuously pissed off at everything. But after the first 3 episodes, he really lightens up since he's actually putting effort into growing and developing as a character. He has to reckon with his own shortcomings and work to improve himself and his relationships. The side characters of Rose and Akram are likable but flawed characters that have a lot of potential, but their development this season really wasn't there. That's something I hope they spend more time on next season because I think they can do a lot with both of those characters. I want to make it clear though that you shouldn't expect this show to constantly keep you on the edge of your seat with action and cheap drama. The show is pretty dialogue intensive, mostly focusing on the mysteries and the relationships between the characters. So if you're looking for something more exciting, I wouldn't recommend this for you, but if you appreciate a good mystery, good dialogue, and good characters, then definitely give Department Q a try. Number 3. Tires Season 2. Alright, now I want to break up all this seriousness with a little funny. Tires is a situational comedy on Netflix following the employees at a tire shop in Ohio. The show stars Shane Gillis and Steve Gerben, who also write the show with John McKeever. Tires Season 1 showed potential for being a decent comedy, but it lacked depth and the world felt kinda small. I also didn't feel like we knew much about the characters, making them seem a little one-dimensional. Regardless, it still had its funny moments and was worthy of a second season. Season 2, on the other hand, took the good parts of Season 1, added way more shit, and turned it up to 11. The season is twice as long, they added Thomas Hayden Church to the cast as Shane's dad, the characters are given way more depth, and while they maintain storylines, the episodes still feel like a sitcom. They really set the tone this season by having some heavy-hitting cameos like John Lovitz, Vince Vaughn, and Ron White. And while not every joke lands, I can tell you that I laugh way more during these episodes than pretty much any other comedy out there, except for one which we'll get there pretty soon. People may think Tires is just a bro comedy catering to men, but it actually makes men the butt of the joke more often than not. I really enjoyed Season 2 of Tires, and I'm looking forward to see where they go in Season 3. Number 4. Adolescence. I know this one might spark some controversy, but let me explain why Adolescence is on my list. Adolescence is an intense limited series of 4 episodes created by Stephen Graham and Jack Thorne. The unique factor with this show though is that each episode is filmed in one continuous shot, which goes back and forth between being gimmicky and actually lending to a realistic and immersive experience. Adolescence follows 13-year-old Jamie Miller while being arrested for the murder of one of his classmates. Over the course of the 4 episodes, you're given a glimpse into the lives and mental state of Jamie, his peers, and his family as they navigate this dark and confusing time. If you decide to check this out, don't go into it expecting a murder mystery. This is much more an analysis of psychology rather than a mystery thriller like Department Q. Because of this, I felt fine overlooking the couple of plot holes I noticed, but just understand that they're there. Arguably, the biggest strength of the show though is the acting. The whole cast does an admirable job, but Stephen Graham and Owen Cooper really stole the show in my opinion. It's obvious that Stephen Graham is trying to win an Emmy for this, but I honestly don't see a reason he shouldn't get it. It's not just his ability to deliver in the emotional moments, but to also show restraint and nuance when it's required. Not to mention, being a limited series means it has far less competition than if it were just a drama. The whole one continuous shot thing can really lend to the immersion and intensity at times, but other times it feels like a hindrance to the story and theme exploration. I applaud the creators of Adolescence for at least opening the conversation on men's mental health, which has not been explored nearly enough. I really hope they make a second season that delves deeper into the dirty details of that topic though, because there is so much more to discuss. I don't want to influence anyone before they watch it, so I won't share my feelings about the messaging, but I recommend giving it a chance. Number 5. The Righteous Gemstones Season 4. God, I love this show. The Righteous Gemstones follows the Gemstone family shortly after the passing of the matriarch who seemed to hold the whole family together. Now this incredibly rich, dysfunctional family of televangelists needs to figure out how to keep the megachurch going while dealing with their own personal shit. This show holds a special place in my heart for a number of reasons, and I was really sad to see them finish the series off this year. I found The Righteous Gemstones during Season 2's release, and I couldn't believe the shit I was watching. This show is absurd, brash, over the top, and downright fucking hilarious. It goes so hard into the hypocrisy and corruption of televangelism with a very heavy dose of satire. Not to mention, the show features a heavy-hitting cast including Danny McBride, John Goodman, Edie Patterson, Walton Goggins, and Adam Devine. And let me tell you, they all make complete fools of themselves throughout throughout the show. The ridiculous shenanigans, the amazing outfits, the satirical commentary, this show will have you laughing the whole time you're watching. And while I don't necessarily think season 4 was the best season, I still have to include it in this list for being one of the most entertaining comedies of the last decade. So there's my top 5 shows of 2025 so far. Again, I don't love all these shows, but I definitely think they're worth checking out. If you want to talk to me about any of them in the comments with me, I'm more than happy to respond, but please put a spoiler warning for anyone who maybe hasn't seen it yet. Also, let me know if there's something you guys want me to make a review of. I just went to see the new Fantastic Four movie in theaters, so we're gonna obliterate that travesty in the next couple of days, but I'd like to hear what you guys want me to review. Either way, thank you so much for the continued support on this channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.